To assign candidates, you click on the Assign tab at the top of the screen. The next screen allows you the choice of assigning assessments or assigning workflows. By clicking on the green plus sign, you can assign a product to be moved out to candidates. After clicking Continue, you can see you have the option to upload, create, search. Several options are available. The simplest method is to just key the candidate's information in. I'll put in my email address, and I've created a single candidate. In some instances, the candidate may already exist in the system, in which case I can click Search, find that candidate, and also add him or her to the queue. I now have 2 candidates in queue. It may also make sense to upload. For instance, I may have an external system that has a file built, and it's just easier for me to upload them into the system. I can click on the default template icon and format that report or that Excel document, CSV document, to lay out with the information needed. I may have already exported this from another system, and now I can simply format my existing layout to meet those needs. So in this case, put in a first name, a last name. We'll always put my email address just to make it simple. Like I said earlier, in many cases, this is going to be already existing data that you'll be copying from another system. I'll add one more candidate. Use my email again. The only key to this is you have to save this as a CSV file. So Excel has a typical Excel workbook layout. We're going to change this to be a comma-separated values file. So we'll save this on this PC. On the desktop, we'll call this sample and hit save. And then Excel does all the fun stuff it does when you create a CSV file, asking you to do it 26 times. Go ahead and save that out. Now you can choose default or custom. I took the default format. It explains what the differences are. Or you can choose custom if you've made some changes. I'll go ahead and choose custom, hit my desktop, pull my sample file, hit open, and then continue. It's intelligent enough to map those fields, first name, last name, email address. I'll hit continue. And then I can include existing candidates. If those candidates already exist in the file, I'll put no, and then hit the upload button. It goes through those activities, tells me if anything went wrong, and I can return to the assignment screen. I now have 2 candidates uploaded, 2 candidates selected, so I'm going to do a total of 4 in this process. This screen is used so that we can get better at what we do. How is this test being used? What are those demographic values that are put in for that? We don't use this for anything other than reporting and analysis. So this data just helps us understand how products are being used. Let's say I'm using employee selection and manufacturing. The occupation is for business and financial operations, and the job title is manager. Since we assigned 4 candidates, it's going to verify. For tester sample 6, are those the demographics? For Ali, are those the demographics? For Sally, are those the demographics? Just going to say that they're all the same, but you could make that secondary selection to verify that those demographics match those candidates. You can send an invitation to the candidates, and that email shows up here. You can create a new email by clicking on that button and change the information to say exactly what you want. You can share the score report with candidates. Many times this is done through an email exchange or something like that after the fact, but you could make it immediately available to them to look at. And then obviously you can add it to groups. So if I'm doing some MBA selection from 2011, I could put that in. And then it repeats all the information on our review and assign screen. I could change the product, group, email, etc. So this is kind of the "Are you sure you did what you want to do" screen. As I click assign, it's going to give me a real-time update of whether those candidates have been processed. If there were any failures, I could click on these links here at the bottom to see failures and what went wrong. And I can click on these details to see a quick view. Do I need to resend the assignment email? Do I want to launch that because that candidate's sitting right here? Or I can just click done and go back to my main screen. And that's how the assignment process works.